Let's talk about that. I mean, Python being an interpreted language, is it much slower to execution than we would expect with a Fortran program?
It is. So yeah, like most scripting languages, it's got an interpretive engine in there, so it's going to run a lot slower than any code, whether it's Fortran or C++ or anything that's compiled to native binaries.
But then comes NumPy and SciPy, and they
Right.
pick up the slack.
Right. So yeah, in scientific and machine learning codes that are typically really mathematically intensive, these libraries have been built up over time in Python, like NumPy, are very popular. But they haven't always been, particularly well optimized to native hardware. And so what we've done with this Intel distribution for Python is go in and use our libraries like MKL underneath the hood of NumPy to accelerate them sometimes 2 orders of magnitude. I mean, literally
Right.
100 times faster than the equivalent, like say, matrix multiply functions would be in the standard off-the-shelf NumPy.
And that's a real benefit to utilizing those libraries now, because you're really getting the benefit out of the underlying hardware.
Right.
Not just the tools that, from the language you're working with.
Exactly. So you can use an easier language to program in than, say, Fortran or C++, but effectively get the same performance for at least a subset of routines that are calling into those libraries.
And that's another interesting question about Python, because Python, as we were saying earlier, it's multi-paradigm, object-oriented, imperative, functional. Which modes are most popular, are you saying, for machine learning, deep learning, and the kind of stuff that you're doing with Python?
I don't actually know that, which of the modes would be most popular. I know that certainly calling to libraries, and so exactly how that
Right.
fits in, but that is what we're really encouraging, what we see in most of the scientific and machine learning codes.
Well, we'll encourage our viewers to let us know what they're
I'm
doing.
sure they'll be able to answer that better than I can.
Do you, is this the next big thing for deep learning? Is this where every business, every application is going to be start using these kinds of tools the way we adopted, say, big data and Hadoop just a few years ago?
Or at least the general category of machine learning, which is a combination of deep learning and more statistical techniques that people tend to use together. So, I think we'll see this expand pretty rapidly. What we saw with Hadoop was a lot of people sort of gathering together their enterprise data lakes and data hubs and things, right? And then Spark built on top of that as a better analytics environment. And deep learning frameworks and other machine learning frameworks are sort of building on top of that or beside that, on top of all that same data infrastructure. So I think we will see this permeate a lot of different applications at different rates and in different ways, depending on what it is, like fraud detection in the financial services space, or various kinds of image analysis and identification for a range of other applications, autonomous vehicles, things like that. Obviously, you got a lot of need for rapid identification and decision making, right? That with huge safety concerns.
I could even see an application for my Ring doorbell that sees the face at the front door and decides whether or not to unlock the door, whether or not I'm home.
Yeah.
That kind of an application.
Exactly. So. Or whether or not to bother notifying you on your phone that someone's there, depending on who it is.
It's
right?
just the neighbor. So you don't have to bug me. Or
it's just a package and
UPS guy.
Right. But a lot of personal assistant kind of technologies. I think we're already seeing some of those with our cell phones, things like Siri and Google's Assistant. And I think we'll see a lot more of those things in terms of just automating drudgery. Things that we don't have to worry about anymore because we've got some kind of AI or machine learning agents doing these things for us.